Alrighty guys, welcome back. I've got a new heli, kinda. I've had this for a couple months. I got it on sale a little while ago just because it was on sale. I picked one up, whatever. It's fixed pitch, the little Blade 120S2. This heli's been around for a long time. It's been, updated over the years, and this is where they're at now. It's got telemetry, runs off of a little 1S 500, and it's fixed pitch, which is one of the only fixed pitch helis really left. Is it worth it? Still buying a fixed pitch helicopter? Meh. I don't think so. I think with the gyros, you just jump up to something that's collective, that has safe. You get the best of both worlds with that, and then you get to control the helicopter with the pitch, and you don't have to worry about the motor RPM constantly changing the speed of the motor. You can just change the pitch, and so I'll talk about it as I fly it and kind of discuss it, but I still think it's a neat little heli, and it's pretty cheap, so we're going to go ahead and plug it in. It does have telemetry, which is neat, but I mean, all the helis nowadays have telemetry. We'll plop her down here, and yeah, it says my ESC is 400 degrees Fahrenheit, so the telemetry is super, super weird. Yeah, 400 degrees, yeah. Anyway, you do get telemetry. It works good for battery voltage, maybe not the temperature. All right, guys, so I'm gonna actually walk out here because I think the sun's gonna be in the camera, so we're gonna fly it the opposite direction of typical. Flying on the little DX9 today, just full 100% rates. I haven't changed anything. This is right from the factory. It actually flies really good. And fixed pitch, that means you do not control the pitch of the blades. They're fixed. They already have a pitch molded into them. You just control the speed of the motor. So you're gonna hear the motor RPMs going up and down, up and down. That's how you ascend and descend. It has a swash plate like a normal helicopter does. It's only got 2 servos driving the swash, which is kind of cool, low parts, I guess. And it has safe. And it's got a third mode where you can fly around with no self-leveling, but it still limits your bank. I just don't like that mode at all. I find it to be actually harder to fly than a normal collective pitch helicopter. That could be just because that's what I fly all the time. It's still kind of weird. It definitely could help you prepare to go to a collective pitch helicopter, but it's not very fun to fly around in. So it comes off the ground very, very quickly. It's really stable. I will say that one thing about the fixed pitch helicopter, with the blades having that pitch, already molded into them, there's not a lot of wobble in the head. It's extremely stable, so there's no GPS or anything on it, so it's good. It's really good. See that safe working there? That's the best thing about it, is just how stable it is. Pretty good. So let's fly it around here in normal mode, which is green mode. This is full forward cyclic. And to change your altitude, you just change the motor RPM. Full forward cyclic, adding a little bit of bank. Pretty slow pirouettes. The rate is pretty slow. The tail does hold quite nicely, honestly. I'm pretty impressed with the tail. It may have Puro comp. It does really good. It doesn't drift too much. But, not a lot of movement. That's it. Full forward cyclic, rearward, right, left. So that's all you get. And here is a full punch out, right? So full power. So it has decent power. It comes down very slow just because you have to wait for the, you got to slow down that motor. You have no pitch that allows you to push the helicopter down, of course, because it's fixed. But a good flyer, as you can see here. I mean, very fun to just kind of jam the sticks around. I enjoy it. The next mode gives you a little bit more movement, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it just feels the same to me. The LED does, go to blue, so the flight controller is in stunt mode 1 or flight mode 1. I don't notice a difference. Full forward cyclic there, but it can hold a level flight about full forward cyclic. You just really have to pump up the RPMs. But it is a quick little heli. And very good for learning orientation. Okay, and the last mode is the mode I actually don't like. It limits your bank, but it does not self-level. So so you can see here, if I go that way, it doesn't self-level. So just like a collective pitch helicopter, but I can only go that far. That's full right, full left. But if I let go though, it doesn't self-level. It'll just keep going. It is good to learn to fly like this, but it is, because of the fixed pitch blades, there is like this teeter-totter effect where when you want to go forward, you start going forward and you let go, it has this kind of, it's weird. It's like a wave. It's like the heli wants to do this forward, backwards, kind of like a wave where it's going back and forward and back and forward. And it is kind of weird. So I would say that it's good for, you know, teaching you how to correct the helicopter manually, but just to fly around in, maybe I'm definitely used to regular helicopters, but this is really weird for me. But nonetheless, it's cool that it has it, I guess. So you can't do any 3D, you can't do any rolls, or anything like that. It would be cool if they didn't lock the bank limit, so you could do at least rolls and flips and stuff like that. You could do that with enough altitude, but it won't let you do that. And you do have a panic recovery button, so if you're freaking out and you hit the button, see it self-levels. Hit the button. Flight mode 2. Oh, we go back into flight mode 3. So if you're going down, you're getting ready to hit the ground, hit that button. So my finger keeps hitting the flight mode switch. Actually, the tail just didn't hold very well right then. Let me try that again. Okay, so the tail definitely has some movement in flight mode 3. Trying to gun it. Yeah, the tail doesn't hold all that well. Let me go back into safe. Yeah, so the tail holds fine. That's interesting. On my particular model in flight mode 3, the tail doesn't hold. I'm getting almost 180 degrees of a pirouette. Kind of weird, strange. Definitely could cause a crash. So flight mode 3 is not my favorite. But it is a fun helicopter. It's easy to fly. It's very friendly. So good for beginners. It's got a decent size to it. You know, it's easy to see. It's not too small, you know. The S3 is really small. The MCPX is even smaller. It's just a little bit smaller than the 180, but for people who may, you know, have trouble seeing the really teeny helis, this is not all that bad, guys. Fixed pitch, though, I would probably recommend you get a 150S. If it was between this and a 150S, I definitely would push you towards the 150S. Or even the new Infusion super low parts count. It has safe. It's a motorized tail. It's cool. I like it. The telemetry works good. It says that I have 3.2 volts in the battery, I think. Or 3.4 volts, I'm sorry. It says I have 3.4 volts in the battery, and that's pretty cool that it has that. Why it says it's 400 degrees, I'm not sure. Probably just a faulty ESC or whatever, but it's not a big deal to me. But if you have any questions about the 120S2, leave a comment, and thanks for watching.